Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day as always, and today I'm bringing you probably one of my most embarrassing videos up to date. This is important to consider your digital footprint and whatnot, but it is what it is. Okay, anyways, today I'm going to be talking about self-shipping. You probably saw it in the title of this video, but before we get into that, what is self-shipping? So, self-shipping is basically to ship oneself with a canon character from a pre-established media or with an OC. Self-shippers will often draw themselves with their fictional significant other, just kind of interacting in one way or another. It can be something completely like romantic, it can be like more of a friendship thing. Sometimes they write like fan fiction and turn themselves into the story somehow. Granted, it might not be an exact copy of who they are, like their self-insert. It can be like an idealized version of themselves, but regardless, it is the person. From what I've gathered, some people do this just for fun, while other folks use it as a coping mechanism for loneliness, anxiety, and sometimes depression. Latching onto a fictional character with relatable traits can be really appealing and make the person feel seen or heard in some way. There's a case where people genuinely have like romantic feelings or even sexual feelings towards their fictional characters. It might even publicly claim the character as their official partner. One of the few cases I've seen is like Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. I've seen a buttload of accounts on Instagram having in their bio something relating to Gojo, like Gojo Daddy or something like that. And sometimes it's just people claiming Gojo as like their partner. Some of them get really explicit too, which kind of makes me wonder if it's like ironic or not. In any case, that is technically self-shipping. So where do I stand behind all of this? Well, despite the fact that I've definitely had like fictional crushes before, especially when I was younger, I actually never thought of myself being shipped with these fictional characters. Like I did idolize a few characters, but to consider myself as their possible partner, it's not something that I really did. I think the closest might be that when I was really little, there was this animation platform called Flipnote. It was like on the DSi, and I used to be obsessed with some Son Amy animations. I'm not quite sure if I can play the audio because it's copyright, but there was this one video with the song that goes, "Cause every time we touch, I get the feel," or something like that. I really like the animations. To be honest, I really did like Amy, like as a character. So I imagine that I woke up in an alternate dimension, and somehow I was Sonic the Hedgehog and I dated Amy. It always bugged me that in Sonic media, Sonic never really settled with Amy. Like, honestly, she's really sweet and reliable. Maybe that feeling came from like frustration. Maybe I just wanted to see Sonic and Amy together, so I thought of myself as Sonic, actually like locking the fuck in or something. But personally, I'm not one to like do self-shipping. I've never done it before, and it's not something that I'm particularly interested in. But I still wanted to try it out just to see how it would go. Like I said, this is just kind of new to me in a way. Anyways, for my first self-ship art, I actually went with a more of a friendship ship. I think it's called like a friend crush. Basically, it's like a strong feeling of wanting to be friends with someone. I want to be friends with Susie Deltarune. So a few months ago, I finished all the currently available chapters in Deltarune, and I really like Susie's character. For those of you who don't know, Susie is like your typical like high school bully character, at least at first. She's really rough and kind of mean to Chris, the character that you play as, but with time, she kind of starts opening up slowly, and you become friends, and she gets kind of clingy with you. I think as early as chapter 1, she says something like, "Oh, we should hang out tomorrow, okay?" And I thought that was really sweet, honestly. Her character is just really cool. She thinks she's really tough, but then she does some like really cutesy stuff, like she wags her tail when she's happy. And she grows a lot throughout the story. Not like linearly. Like, she might go through some hoops here and there, and she might still be flawed by the end of the chapters. But it kind of looks like she's always trying to be a better person. It's really sweet, which is why I would honestly love to be friends with her. I had this idea for this drawing of like my Sona and Susie meeting in like a college campus setting, and maybe she's like some sort of college counselor or like student guide, and she's just kind of showing me around. And of course I'd be nervous because I would think Susie is super cool. And yeah, this is pretty much what I ended up with. You probably were seeing the process as I was doing it in the background, but yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. Honestly, if you haven't played Deltarune, what are you doing? I can assure you, you will want to be friends with these characters, especially Susie and like Rose. They are really sweet, and when they are together, it's just a really fun dynamic. But yeah, play Deltarune, it's really fun. Now for my next self-shipping art, I did want it to be more romantical, so I started writing down characters that I would hypothetically be with, and I ended up with Fluttershy from My Little Pony. I don't have a super complex reason as to why I went with her. I remember having somewhat of a crush on her when I was little. Out of the main 6, she was the one that I related the most. Despite Fluttershy's whole gimmick being like the shy one, I really like when she had like an attitude towards the others. Like sometimes she would just start crashing out on everyone else when they didn't like listen to her. I also really like the way she treats Discord, which is like my favorite MOP character ever. Imagine being one of the most powerful characters in media and logging in because this muffin told you to log in. She had Discord on a leash and you can't convince me otherwise. Also, I think Fluttershy and Discord's couple name is like Fluttercord. What would our ship name be? Like Flutteru? I kind of like the sound of it, but I feel like you could maybe work through it. Like, I feel like it can be improved somehow. Anyways, this is how the art turned out, and I think it's pretty cute. It was really fun. I quite enjoyed like drawing horses. I usually draw like characters, like humanoid or human characters, and I quite enjoy just like stepping out of my comfort zone. The whole self-shipping process was fun as well. I don't think this is something that I would do like regularly, but it was fun to sit down and wonder about like the relationship dynamics. I would be down to make like a part 2 where I self-ship myself with some other characters I like, if you guys would be like interested in it. But I would like to challenge artists Damien Ivory, Maggot Lou, Carmia Stone, and Captain Kelpie to draw like self-ship art of your Zonas with characters you like. None of my friends, they'll probably have some like crazy hear me out. I think I would be like I would either be really surprised or not surprised at all based on the characters that you guys pick. I'll link all of them in the description. These are all like awesome artists, and thank you for watching this video and for staying till the end. I appreciate it. And you know, as always, I will see you all later. Bye.